Good morning, or good afternoon, or whenever you happen to be listening to this. It's always a good time to talk about truth, about the unvarnished reality of building anything truly great. And that truth, my friends, often begins with failure. For years, people have looked at Apple's triumphs, the Mac, the iPod, the iPhone. They see the shining products, the packed keynotes, the undeniable success. They see the victories, and it's easy, very easy to assume it was a straight line, a smooth, uninterrupted climb to the top. But that, my friends, is a fundamental misunderstanding. The truth is, my path and Apple's path was littered with setbacks, with crushing disappointments, with moments where the world and sometimes even my own board counted me out. Failure wasn't just a possibility, it was a constant companion. It was the brutal teacher, it was the fire that forged us. And in retrospect, it was arguably my greatest strength. Today, we're going to peel back the layers. We're going to look at why failure wasn't just an obstacle to be overcome, but a catalytic force. How embracing setbacks, learning from the brutal lessons they offered, and coming back stronger, smarter, and with a renewed clarity became the secret weapon. This isn't some motivational platitude. This is about understanding how to transform your lowest points into your most powerful launching pads. Because everyone talks about success, but very few truly understand the indispensable role failure plays in achieving it. This is a practical guide, actionable steps you can take, starting right now, to shift your perception of challenges, to unlock an inner resilience, and to turn every single setback into an opportunity to refine your vision, strengthen your resolve, and accelerate your path to your dreams. So get ready to confront the uncomfortable, to embrace the inevitable, to understand that your greatest triumphs often emerge from your deepest struggles. Because the world is waiting for your next breakthrough, let's dive in. The inevitability of falling, why every visionary stumbles. Let's be honest with each other. If you're going to build something truly revolutionary, something that changes the status quo, something that defies conventional wisdom, you are going to stumble. You are going to fall hard. It's not a question of if, but when. If you're not falling, if you're not experiencing setbacks, then you're probably not pushing hard enough. You're playing it too safe. You're not innovating. This isn't about being reckless. It's about understanding a fundamental law of creation. When you step into the unknown, when you try to do something that's never been done before, you're venturing into uncharted territory. There's no map, there's no predefined path, and in those moments, mistakes are not just possible, they are an absolute necessity. They are the data points you need to course correct. They are the feedback loops that reveal where your assumptions were wrong, where your design was flawed, where your strategy needed refinement. Think about the sheer audacity of what we tried to do with the Macintosh. We literally tried to put a graphical user interface and a mouse into the hands of ordinary people at a time when most computers were command line beasts. It was radical, it was insane, and it was difficult every single day. We worked incredible hours. We faced immense internal resistance. We made countless mistakes. And yes, it was a profound learning experience, but it was also a product that in its first iteration had significant challenges. It didn't immediately set the world on fire as we had hoped. And then there was my own personal experience, being fired from Apple, a company I co-founded, a company that was my life's work, that, my friends, was a spectacular failure. A public, humiliating, gut-wrenching failure. It was, at the time, devastating. It stripped away everything I thought I knew about myself, about my purpose, about my identity. But here's the critical insight. You never truly lose. You only learn. You only learn if you choose to. If you choose to analyze what went wrong. If you choose to take responsibility. If you choose to extract the profound lessons hidden within the rubble of your setbacks. Because if you don't, if you simply wallow in self-pity or blame others, then the failure becomes a wasted opportunity. It becomes a permanent state of defeat rather than a temporary detour on the path to something greater. So the first step in turning failure into strength is to accept its inevitability, to embrace the fact that if you're doing anything worthwhile, you will stumble. And then to cultivate a mindset that doesn't fear the fall, but sees it as an essential, even sacred part of the climb. Because the only true failure is the failure to learn, the failure to get back up, and the failure to continue moving forward. To return to beginner's mind, next, Pixar and the power of rebirth. Being fired from Apple was, without question, one of the most painful experiences of my life. But it was also, paradoxically, one of the most liberating. It allowed me to shed the heavy weight of success, to return to the beginner's mind, to be a little more foolish and a lot more hungry. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. Without the immense pressure of running Apple, I was able to explore entirely new avenues. I started Next, and I bought a struggling little computer graphics company called Pixar. Next was, in many ways, another failure in the conventional sense. It never achieved the widespread commercial success we envisioned. The hardware was expensive, the market was niche, but what did Next give us? It gave us the fundamental software architecture, the operating system that would eventually become the foundation of Apple's rebirth. It was a laboratory for ideas that would later power the Mac OS X and ultimately the iPhone. So was it truly a failure? Or was it an indispensable, albeit expensive, learning ground that laid the groundwork for future triumphs? And Pixar, what a journey that was. When I acquired it, it was a tiny division of Lucasfilm, struggling to find its footing. We lost money year after year for a long time. There were moments when I considered selling it, when the financial drain was immense. But I believed in the people. I believed in the vision of combining art and technology in a completely new way. We iterated, we experimented, we pushed the boundaries of computer animation. And then Toy Story happened, and the rest, as they say, is history. A history born out of perseverance through years of financial losses, of unwavering belief in a nascent technology, of a relentless pursuit of storytelling excellence. These experiences away from Apple taught me invaluable lessons about perseverance, about patience, about the importance of true talent and vision. They taught me about the profound power of focusing on what you love, because that passion is what sustains you through the lean times, through the inevitable failure. When I came back to Apple, it was on the verge of bankruptcy. It was, again, a company in deep failure, but I returned with a renewed perspective, sharpened by my experiences at Next and Pixar. I understood clarity, I understood focus, I understood the power of true simplicity. I understood that Apple had lost its way by trying to do too many things, by pursuing too many scattered ideas. We had to simplify. We had to cut out the noise. We had to get back to basics. We killed product lines. We focused on a handful of truly great products. We went back to the core principles of design and user experience. And that, my friends, was the turnaround. A turnaround born not from an absence of failure, but from a profound understanding of its lessons. The lessons learned in exile, in the wilderness, outside the comfort zone of past success. So don't fear the exile. Don't fear the moments when you're forced to start over, to return to a blank slate, to embrace the beginner's mind. Because those are often moments when true innovation sparks, when clarity emerges, and when you are truly reborn. The discipline of redesign, turning problems into propulsion. Most people, when they face a problem, see it as an obstacle, a roadblock, a reason to stop, but a visionary, an innovator, sees a problem differently. They see it as an opportunity to redesign, an opportunity to improve, an opportunity to fundamentally increase their level of mind and consciousness. Think about the iPhone. When we set out to create a phone, we faced countless problems. How do you integrate a phone, an iPod, and an internet communicator into one device? How do you create an intuitive interface without physical buttons? How do you make it simple yet incredibly powerful? These weren't just challenges, they were invitations to redesign the very concept of a mobile device. Every single problem we encountered was an opportunity for profound innovation. The multi-touch interface, the App Store, the minimalist design, these were all solutions to problems that others either ignored or deemed impossible. We didn't shy away from complexity. We found elegant ways to simplify it. We didn't accept the limitations of existing technology. We pushed the boundaries relentlessly. This is the discipline of redesign. It's about living in refined mode. It's about constantly asking, how can this be better? How can this be simpler? How can this solve a deeper, more fundamental problem for the user? This isn't just about tweaking, it's about tearing things down and rebuilding them from the ground up if necessary. It's about having the courage to kill your darlings, to discard ideas that no longer serve the greater vision, no matter how much effort you've poured into them. And this applies not just to products, but to your own life. If you're not where you want to be, if you're facing challenges, if you feel stuck, it's time to live in redesign mode. It's time to fundamentally question your assumptions, your routines, your beliefs, because problems are not just external. They are often reflections of internal limitations, of mental barriers within your own mind. When you solve an external problem, it often dissolves a corresponding internal barrier. It increases your capacity, it elevates your perspective, it allows you to navigate the world with greater clarity and competence. And that, my friends, is a powerful feedback loop. The more problems you solve, the smarter you become. The more you overcome, the more capable you become. So don't be afraid of hard work. Don't be afraid to grind harder than you thought possible. Don't be afraid to sweat, to struggle, to face the uncomfortable truths. I guarantee you it will fundamentally change how you think. And you'll expand, not shrink. This is the forge. This is where your future self is made. Your very nervous system is molding itself to reflect the actions you take now. If you back down, you reinforce weakness. But if you push through, you reinforce strength, resilience, and a mindset that can handle whatever comes next. This is the mindset of true genius. It knows that adversity breeds resilience, and resilience leads to next-level success and undeniable brilliance. Because true mental strength is not about avoiding discomfort. It's about building the ability to sit through it, to embrace it, and to come out stronger and clearer on the other side. Your problems are not your curses. They are your greatest teachers. They are the propulsion systems that launch you into your next level of evolution. The unseen power of silence. Healing, planning, and coming back stronger. When you face significant failure or a profound setback, there's an overwhelming urge to react, to explain, to justify, to lash out, to fill the void with noise. But in those moments, the greatest power lies in silence. My time away from Apple, that period of intense public failure, was a time of profound silence. It wasn't a retreat into despair, it was a retreat into reflection. It was a period of healing, of deep thought, of strategic planning. When the world was buzzing with speculation, when the media was dissecting my every move, I chose quiet. I chose to focus on building, not on reacting. The strongest individuals don't waste their precious energy proving themselves. They simply let their success do all the talking. They don't argue. They don't desperately seek to impress. They don't over-explain. They move with an inherent certainty. And that certainty, my friends, commands respect. This silence is an active, disciplined state. It allows you to access higher-level cognitive functions like strategic thinking, profound problem solving, and long-term planning. It allows for the clarity you need to innovate, to see the connections that others missed. It's in the quiet moments that your intuition speaks loudest, that your next great idea often emerges. When you're dealing with failure, when you're hurt, when you're angry, your silence becomes your shield and your sword. It's you saying, yes, I'm hurt, yes, I'm angry, but I won't let you see that. I won't let you win. Think about steel. Do you know how it's made? It's forged in fire, beaten into shape, cooled in silence. That's what you are. You're steel, strong, unbreakable, forged in the fires of your pain and tempered by the cold silence of your strength. One day, people will look back at your life. They'll remember the things you said, the things you did, the impact you made. But most of all, they'll remember the way you made them feel. Your silence is part of that legacy. It's a reminder that you didn't let the noise of the world drown you out, that you didn't let the chaos of others define you, that you stood tall, stayed strong, and chose peace over conflict. And that legacy, it's not just about you, it's about the people who come after you, the ones who look to you for inspiration, for guidance, for strength. Your silence isn't just a response, it's a lesson. A reminder that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is say nothing at all. What's it going to be? Are you going to keep wasting your energy on people who don't deserve it? Or are you going to let your silence speak for you? Are you going to let them define you? Or are you going to rise above? Because in the end, your silence will break them in ways anger never could. And you'll walk away stronger, wiser, and free. The choice is yours. But remember, silence isn't weakness. It's power. It's strength. It's everything they fear, and it's everything you are. This means consciously disappearing for a few hours a day. Not literally vanishing from the face of the earth, but disappearing from the things that don't belong in your life. Cutting them out. People who drain your energy, mindless games, addictive apps, bad habits that serve no purpose. Just become acutely aware of the things holding you back and rip the Band-Aid off. Get rid of them. You don't need to explain yourself. Break your addiction with feeling like you need to justify your actions to anyone else. This is about cultivating an internal locus of control. It's about building your empire in the storm while others idly wait for the perfect calm conditions. It's about executing on principle while others hope to be randomly motivated. It's about laying solid foundations brick by brick while others desperately search for shortcuts. This and this alone is what truly separates those who merely try from those who profoundly triumph. The forging of resilience, becoming unstoppable.
Failure ultimately is the crucible in which resilience is forged. It's the fire that burns away the dross, leaving behind the pure, unyielding strength of your character. You don't learn resilience by avoiding challenges. You learn it by facing them head on, by falling, and by choosing every single time to get back up.
Think about the sheer number of times we iterated on products, the countless prototypes that failed, the software bugs that crashed systems, the marketing campaigns that flopped. Every single one was a moment of potential defeat. But each one also became an opportunity to learn, to adjust, to come back smarter, to become more resilient. That's how you become unstoppable, not by never failing, but by making failure irrelevant to your ultimate outcome. This is about developing an almost irrational belief in yourself and your vision. An unwavering conviction that no matter how difficult the challenge, no matter how severe the setback, you have the capacity within you to overcome it. This belief isn't born from easy victories. It's earned through hard-fought battles, through the scars of past failures, through the quiet triumph of simply showing up again day after day when every fiber of your being wants to quit. The journey of building anything great is filled with moments where you will feel overwhelmed, where you will question everything, where the path forward seems utterly unclear. It's in these moments that your resilience is truly tested. It's in these moments that you decide whether you are defined by your setbacks or refined by them. And this resilience, once forged, becomes your greatest competitive advantage. Because while others are paralyzed by the fear of failure, you understand its profound lessons. While others crumble under pressure, you stand firm knowing that you have faced worse and emerged stronger. While others give up, you simply keep moving relentlessly towards your unshakable vision. Remember, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. The relentless, often solitary marathon. If you're not where you want to be, it's time to live in redesign mode, in refine mode. You were put here to win. Don't be afraid of hard work. Don't be afraid to grind harder than you thought possible. Don't be afraid to sweat, to struggle, to face the uncomfortable truths. I guarantee you, it will fundamentally change how you think, and you'll expand, not shrink. This is the forge. This is where your future self is made. Your very nervous system is molding itself to reflect the actions you take now. If you back down, you reinforce weakness. But if you push through, you reinforce strength, resilience, and a mindset that can handle whatever comes next. This is the mindset of true genius. It knows that adversity breeds resilience, and resilience leads to next-level success and undeniable brilliance. The truly successful people are not those who avoid failure, but those who understand that it is an integral part of the process. They embrace it, learn from it, and use it as fuel to propel them forward. They see every fall as an opportunity to build a stronger foundation, every mistake as a chance to refine their approach, and every setback as a stepping stone to something far greater. The mindset of abundance, failure as fertilizer for growth, ultimately to truly transform failure into strength. You must adopt a mindset of abundance, not a scarcity mindset that sees every loss as a depletion, but an abundance mindset that views every experience, especially the difficult ones, as fertilizer for future growth. This is about understanding that the universe is constantly expanding, evolving, and providing opportunities. Even in moments of profound failure, there are seeds of possibility. There are lessons to be learned, connections to be made, new paths to be forged. The problem isn't the failure itself, it's the limited perspective that prevents you from seeing the abundance of learning and growth it offers. When you fail, you gain invaluable data. You learn what doesn't work, you learn about your own limitations, and more importantly, your own strengths. You learn about the market, about your team, about the unpredictable nature of the world. This knowledge, hard-won through struggle, is far more valuable than any easy victory. It's the kind of wisdom that truly sets you apart. The conventional path to success, the predefined script, has already been programmed into the collective psyche. Most people will opt for doing nothing, for being a sheep, an NPC, a non-player character in their own life. That if you opt for doing nothing, you are by default choosing to be a slave to circumstance. Your true purpose is to solve the problems that lead to the dissolution of mental barriers within your own mind. And then, and only then, to pass those hard-won lessons down, to solve problems in other people's lives, to actively remove the limits from their mind. That's what a problem truly is, a limit on your mind and potential. And once it is solved, you fundamentally increase your level of mind, your level of consciousness, so that you can navigate the world with greater clarity and in turn contribute to a better humanity. This is the profound assumption that everything is working out for you, even when it's incredibly hard, even when it's utterly silent, even when there's absolutely no external proof. This is living as if the outcome was already certain, as if the door was already wide open and all you had to do was walk through it. This is the powerful energy that builds enduring legacy. So why not you? Why not now? Why not today? You've spent enough time worrying, enough time hesitating, enough time telling yourself tired old stories rooted in fear and doubt. Now it's time to fundamentally flip the script. Any single person on any given day can massively, fundamentally change the entire direction of their life. Just as surely as you can commit a negative, destructive act, you can also commit a profoundly positive, creative act and forever alter your life whenever you wish. Now that's genuinely exciting. The greatest revenge, remember, is massive, undeniable success. Wealth is not simply a matter of raw intelligence, it's a profound matter of sustained inspiration.
And that inspiration comes from deep within. It comes from the unwavering, almost irrational belief in your vision, in your purpose, in your singular ability to make a profound, lots difference.
Embrace your failures. Learn from them. Let them fertilize your growth, because it is through these very experiences that you gain the wisdom, the resilience, and the clarity to truly become unstoppable.
So here we are, at the very edge of infinite possibility. You've heard the principles, you've seen the blueprint. Now, my friends, it's time to truly build. Understanding why failure was Steve Jobs' greatest strength isn't about glorifying hardship. It's about recognizing that profound growth, innovation, and lasting impact are almost always forged in the crucible of adversity. It's about understanding that setbacks are not roadblocks, but rather powerful, indispensable teachers. It's about choosing every single time to extract the lessons, to rebuild stronger, to clarify your vision, and to press forward with an unshakable conviction. It's about turning every no into a next opportunity, every fall into a spring.
Remember, your failures do not define you. Your response to them does. Will you let them break you, or will you let them forge you into something stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined? Will you allow them to confirm your doubts, or will you use them as undeniable proof of your resilience and your capacity for relentless growth?
The choice, my friends, is entirely yours. And it's not just about how you overcome one challenge. It's about how you fundamentally reshape your entire relationship with adversity forever.
So don't wait for success to be handed to you. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Don't wait for the absence of struggle. Because true strength, true genius, emerges not in the absence of challenges, but in the relentless, unwavering pursuit of your vision, precisely through them. Go out there, embrace the falls, extract the lessons, rebuild with clarity and unwavering focus, and make your unparalleled, inevitable dent in the universe.
Thank you. Now go.
And turn your failures into your greatest strengths.